Imagine if you got 70% of the problems wrong on a test in school. Imagine being a basketball player and missing 7 out of 10 free throws. Or imagine being a wide receiver in football and dropping 7 of the 10 passes that come your way. You see, in pretty much every single endeavor in life and in most sports out there, a low level of failure is expected if you're ever going to be considered great. But baseball is a totally different story. Baseball is a game of failure. In baseball, you're going to fail a heck of a lot more than you're going to succeed. In fact, if you fail at the plate 7 times out of 10, that's 70% of the time, and you do that consistently throughout your career, number one, you're going to consistently be an all-star. Number two, you're going to be well on your way to the Hall of Fame, and that's failing 70% of the time. So baseball is such a game of failure. That's what I want to talk about in today's video. I've got 4 quick tips that I think will really help you handle failure and help you with your progression as a baseball player. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing, don't fear failure, because failure is how you learn, okay? I want you to think about babies really quickly, and I promise this will relate to baseball, but babies learning how to walk, okay? Do they just instantly pop up and know how to walk from the get-go? No, of course not, right? It takes a lot of trial and error for them. They get up and they try to walk, and then they fall down. They fail, and they fail again, and they fail again, over and over and over until eventually they succeed. And what babies do that's so great is, number one, they're not afraid to fail, and when they do end up failing, that's okay. They just try to make an adjustment and then move forward until eventually they get the hang of it. That's exactly what you need to do. So whether we're talking about, baseball or in school, let's say you got, 3 math problems wrong. What you shouldn't do is just say, oh, I got those 3 wrong, that sucks, and move forward. You need to go back and figure out, what did I do wrong in those problems? Where was I off in my calculations? What do I need to improve to not make that same mistake again? That's what you need to do on the baseball field. So don't fear failure. You're going to fail, but the question is, what are you going to do about it? You really have to focus on failing forward, learning from your mistakes, and making adjustments. So let's say your first at bat, you go out and you strike out, okay? What you don't want to do is just say, 0 for 1, that sucks, and just move forward. No. You definitely want to flush that at bat and not bring it into your next at bat, but you, first of all, before you flush it, you have to learn what went wrong, all right? So analyze your at bat. What did I do wrong? I struck out. Was I not ready to go when I stepped in the batter's box? Was I swinging at bad pitches? What was the reasoning behind me striking out? Or was it just, a good at bat, but he beat me? Okay, figure out what went wrong and then fail forward. Figure out what adjustments do I need to make moving forward, then flush it, okay? But only flush it after you analyze it. So that's the first thing. Don't fear failure. It's part of the game of baseball, and it's part of life, and it's how you learn. All right, tip number 2, fail physically, but don't fail mentally. And what I mean by that is, as we all know, baseball is a really tough game, right? Hitting's tough, pitching's tough, everything in the game of baseball, it's not easy. So physically, you're going to make mistakes, but mentally, you can't make mental mistakes. So are you going to strike out at the plate? Yes, absolutely. Are you going to look foolish swinging at a curveball in the dirt that bounces 5 feet in front of the plate? Yes, you are. From time to time, that's going to happen probably. Pitchers, you're probably going to, hit batters, and you're probably going to walk batters. You're probably going to give up dingers. Infielders, you're probably going to let balls get underneath your glove. Outfielders, you're probably going to look silly and let a ball get underneath your glove, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall, or occasionally you might lose a fly ball in the sun and drop a routine fly ball. Physical mistakes are going to happen. We want to try to minimize them, but it's part of playing the game. This is a game of failure. But that being said, you just can't fail mentally, meaning you can't, forget about where to go with the baseball when it's hit your way. You can't all of a sudden field the ball and, oh, I wasn't doing my pre-pitch, thought process on where I'm going with the ball. That can't happen. You can't throw to, the wrong bases. Pitchers, you can't forget to back up bases, or you can't forget on a ground ball to the right side of the infield, you can't forget to get over. These are all mental lapses, and the reason why they happen is it's strictly a lack of focus. So don't let it happen. There's no excuse. It's okay to make physical mistakes because this is a challenging game, but just mentally, you've got to be locked in. You got to be focused. You got to play pitch to pitch. All right, tip number 3. You'll fail in the present if you're thinking about the past. I can't stress the importance enough of playing in the present moment. So we talked about, let's say you're first at bat, you get up there, and unfortunately you strike out, okay? You want to learn from that failure. You want to figure out what went wrong, what adjustments do I need to make. But when it comes time for your second at bat, your third at bat, your fourth at bat of the day, you can't let that one failure affect the present moment. You have to play one pitch at a time, and you have to learn from your mistakes, but then flush it, because the reality is, in baseball and in life, once an event happens, there's nothing that you can do to go back and change it. It's done and over with. So I don't want you at the plate thinking about, previous at-bats, good or bad. Even, if you hit a home run your first at-bat, you can't allow that to detract from your second at-bat and cause you to now, because you're still thinking about that dinger that you hit, now you're overconfident, and your second at-bat, maybe you end up, not really playing pitch to pitch, and you end up getting yourself out. Now you're 1 for 2 when you could have been, 2 for 2, or at least hit 2 balls hard somewhere, right? So, whether you're thinking about previous at-bats, previous failures, previous games, or thinking about, oh man, I'm slumping right now and I need a base hit here. No, that cannot be part of your thought process. Nothing about the past, and also nothing about the future. You can't say, oh man, I struck out my first at-bat, so now this at-bat I better get a base hit because I need to go at least 2 for 4 today. No, you can't get 2 hits in one at-bat. You can only get 1 hit, and really the only controllable goal there is hitting the ball hard somewhere, okay? So, learn from mistakes and be excited about the future, but you're never going to have success in the present moment if you're thinking about the past or if you're thinking about the future. Play pitch to pitch, win this pitch before moving on to the next one. And the last tip I have for you when it comes to failure is don't let failure define you. All right, one at-bat does not define you as a player. Neither does one game, really neither does one season. You cannot allow your identity to get wrapped up in your performance on the field, okay? I see this as far too common. Players either get, too high when things are going great or too low when things are not going their way. And I think the best baseball players out there, the ones that really do it at a high level, they just kind of keep this even keel. If they have a great game, they allow that to, give them confidence moving forward, but they don't get, too confident, overconfident, and think that they're bigger than the game, because the game will humble you in a heartbeat. And vice versa. If they go 0 for 4, they don't get really down in the dumps. They figure out, okay, what do I need to do? What small adjustments do I need to make moving forward so I can, break out of this little funk that I'm in? But they don't allow themselves to go to deep, dark places and allow their identity to get wrapped up in that one bad game. So one bad game, one bad at bat, those do not define you. And here's a quick little test that you should run. I think that, at the end of a game, whether you went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and a double and a triple, or whether you went 0 for 4 with 4 looking strikeouts, right, backwards Ks, I think that someone who's watching you, who, let's say they just caught the last inning of the game, or let's say you're playing on TV and they just turned on the TV in the very last inning, at the end of the day, they shouldn't really be able to tell whether you had a great game or whether you had a subpar game. And, when you get that type of, even keel within you, I think that you'll be well on your way to much more consistent success as a baseball player. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button right now, smash it. Be sure you turn it blue, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you next time.